Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bustier. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate your support. And if you are new here, you're highly welcome. Kindly please hit on subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. In today's video, I will show you how to cut and sew this extended peplum bustier blouse with a mini skirt. If that sounds like something you're interested in, keep on watching and let's get started. So before we start, guys, these are all the material I'll be using for this tutorial. For my fabric, I have this Ankara fabric and I have 4 yards of it. So this is what I'll be using. Then for my lining, which I'm going to use to line in the upper part and the skirt part, I also have my tape rule, my zipper, my thread, and then my scissors. Now let's get started. I'll be drafting on the pattern paper first, and now I'm going to go ahead and rule a line across, which is going to serve as the starting line. Now from the starting line, I'll measure down to my bust point, which is 10 inches, to my under bust, which is 13 inches, and then to my half length, which is 15 inches. I'll come to this other side and mark the same thing to my bust point, to my under bust, and then to my half length. After marking it, I'll go ahead and rule a line across all these points. So this will be my bust line, my under bust line, my waistline, and that will be my shoulder line. Now from the center on the shoulder line, I'll go in by 3.5 inches for the neck width and come down by 3.5 inches for the neck depth. After marking it, I'll go ahead and connect the 2 points together to give me a basic round neckline. So guys, we don't really need this, but I'm using this as a guide. From the center again, I'll go in by half of my shoulder measurement, which is 15 inches divided by 2 will give me 7.5 inches. So I'll use that to make a point. From that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then from that point, I'll connect a straight line to meet the neck width. The next thing is to get my armhole depth, and to get that, divide your round bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5 inches to it. So whatever you get is going to be your armhole depth. So I have 7.6 inches for mine. Now from the shoulder slope, I'll come down by 7.6 inches and make a point. Then I'll go ahead and rule a line to meet the shoulder slope and then rule a line across. So I'll label this line here as my chest line. Now I'll take the measurement I have here, the whole measurement I have here, and divide it into 2. From the midpoint, I'll go in by 0.5 inch. On the chest line, I'm going to mark my bust measurement divided by 4 and mark it. Connect from the chest to meet the midpoint, and then from the midpoint to meet the shoulder slope. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the 3 points together to create my armhole curve. Moving ahead, guys, what I'll do now is to get half of my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple is 7, and that divided by 2 will give me 3.5 inches. So I'll mark 3.5 inches on the bust line, on the under bust, on the waistline, and then on the chest line. After marking it, I'll connect all these points with my straight ruler. Now for the dart intake for the bustier, on the under bust, I'll mark 3/4 of an inch on the both side. That's 0.75 on the both side. If you're on a bigger size, mark 1 inch on the both side. So I'll mark the same thing on the waistline, and then I'll go ahead and connect a straight line just like you see me do. Then from the under bust, I'll create a curve to meet the bust point on the both side. Just go ahead and do the same thing you see me doing right now. So for the neckline, you can either go up from the chest line by 1 inch or 1.5 inch, or you measure from the top down to where you want your neck to start from. For me, I'm going to go up by 1.5 inches, and then I'll rule a line across and connect the dart line upwards. To tighten up the chest line, I'm going to mark a 0.5 inch on the both side. Mark half an inch on the both side, then you connect a straight line to meet the bust point. Now to form the sweetheart shape, I'll be maintaining my chest line, so I'll first use my freehand to make a little dot in order for me to create the shape. If you don't have a curve ruler, you can use your freehand to create the curve. Then I'll be using my curve ruler to connect from the chest line to meet the first point. Then from the second point, I will connect it into the armhole. This is what I had after I was done doing that. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding all my body measurements. I will come to the chest line and take my round bust measurement divided by 4. I'll measure the dart intake and replace it back. Then I'll be adding extra 1.5 inches sewing allowance. I'll come to the waistline and take my round waist measurement divided by 4. I'll measure the dart intake and replace it back. Then I'm going to add extra 1.5 inches sewing allowance. After marking it, I'll go ahead and connect all the last point together, and that's all for this. So for the yoke, guys, that's the band I'm going to use to tie around my neck. From the neck width, I'll go in by 2 inches and make a point. From that point, with the help of my curve ruler, I'll connect it all the way to the armhole area. Just go ahead and do the same thing you see me doing right now. So we no longer need the whole armhole curve. The new curve I just made is what I'll be using. From the second bustier point here, I'll go in by half an inch. Then I'll go ahead and connect from that point all the way to meet the neck width. So by the time you measure this, you should have 2 inches for the width of the band. And this is what I have after that. This is our yoke. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Then I will label it. This is my center front and the side front. And at the side here, I went ahead to rule out the extra 1.5 inches sewing allowance I added while drafting it. And that's all for the front. Now we move on to the back pattern. For the back pattern, I've gone ahead to mark out all the vertical measurements just like I did on the front pattern. From the shoulder line, I measured down to my bust line to my waistline. Then I came in by 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. From the zipper allowance, I went in by 3 inches for the neck width. Then I used 1.5 inches for the neck depth. Now I'll take the measurements I have here, the whole measurements I have here, and divide it into 2. From the midpoint, I will go in by 0.5 inch. On the chest line, I'm going to mark my bust measurement divided by 4 and mark it. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the 3 points together to create my armhole curve. Next, I'm going to take my dart intake. So I'll mark my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is 3.5, and mark it on the chest line and on the waistline. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect it with my straight rule. Now for the dart intake, I'll mark 0.5 inch on the both side, and I will connect it to meet the chest line on the both side. Once you are done doing that, now I'm going to go ahead and start taking all my body measurements. So on the chest line, I will take my round bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 1.5 inches sewing allowance. On the waistline, I will take my round waist measurement divided by 4. I will measure the dart intake and replace it back. Then I will be adding extra 1.5 inches sewing allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and connect all the last points together. Just go ahead and do the same thing you see me doing right now. So guys, I will maintain the chest line for the back neckline because I don't want the back to be too low. That's why I'm using the chest line for the back neckline. On the zipper allowance, I'll go in by 0.5 inch from the center to avoid zipper bulge. After marking it, I'll go ahead and connect it. Then I'll cut out my back pattern, and that's all for this. Now I have both the front and the back. You can notice that I've closed up the dart intake on the back. So I'll go ahead and place this on my actual fabric and use it to cut out all my pieces. So guys, for the peplum, I've gone ahead to cut out this piece I'm going to be using for both the front and the back. And what I did was that I subtract my half length from my blouse full length measurement. Whatever you have left is what you're going to use to cut out the peplum plus half an inch sewing allowance. So my blouse length is 24. When I subtract 15 inches from it, I was left with 9 inches. I hope you get that. So I added an extra half an inch to it, which gave me 9.5 inches altogether. So that's what I used to cut out the length of the peplum. For the width, it depends. I'm going to take my round waist measurement divided by 4 and make a point. Then from that point, I'll be adding extra inches, extra allowance. That's for the extended peplum. So let me just use my front to explain. I have both the front and the back. This part is my zipper allowance, so I'll be using the front to explain how to cut the flay, the lower part. So I'll keep the back aside for now. Now let's work on the front. Remember the length I said I'll be using is 9.5 inches. That's 9.5 inches. So I'll multiply it by 2, which will give me 19 inches altogether. I have 19 inches altogether, so I'm going to open up my fabric fully. Can you see? Open up the whole fabric. The length I used is 19 inches, and that's what I used to cut out the peplum. Then you're going to fold it into 2. Can you see? Then you fold it again into 2. After folding it, this is what you should have. What I did here is that I'm not going to be adding lining to the peplum. So I'm going to be using my main fabric as both the lining and the outer fabric. That's why I folded it this way. I'll repeat the same thing for the back, but the back will be 1.5 inches longer than the front. That extra 1.5 will serve as the zipper allowance. So I'll have single piece for the front and 2 pieces for the back. Now from the center of the fold, I'll go in by my round waist measurement divided by 4, which is 7.5 inches, and I'll use that to make a point. From that point, you determine how long you want your extended peplum to be. For me, I measure from my waist, my half length to somewhere above my nail, about 4 to 5 inches above the nail. I didn't take it down to my nail, I stopped somewhere above the nail. After taking my measurement, I got 20 inches and I added extra half an inch for sewing allowance. So take your round waist measurement divided by 4 and measure from your half length to wherever you want your peplum to be. For me, I got 20 inches and I added half an inch to it. That's what I used to cut out the extended peplum. Do the same thing for the back as well, and please make sure your markings are clearly visible. Make sure the markings are bold. After marking it, I will stitch from the waist down with about half an inch and then sew all the way down with the same half an inch. I'll be using the front to show you how to sew this. So open up the front like this, and I'm going to take the measurement from the mark you already have on the waist to the other side. I have 15 inches, which is half of my waist measurement. Can you see? So I'm going to start my stitch from the waist down with about half an inch and stitch from the straight line all the way down. Make sure you have your exact waist measurement divided by 2, which is 15 inches for mine. And I'm going to start my stitch from this measurement all the way to the end. I will do the same thing on the other side, stitch like this all the way to the end. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing on the back pieces, and I'll also stitch down the zipper allowance area. This is what I had after I was done. I went ahead to iron it out. So this is the front piece. You can see that the only space I was left with is my exact waist measurement divided by 2. And I'm going to fold this into 2 for me to make a notch at the center. With this notch, I will be able to attach it to my half length when I'm stitching it down together. For the back piece as well, this is what you should have. That's your waist plus 1 inch zipper allowance. Moving ahead, I'm going to place the front on top of it like this for me to get my zipper allowance. So I'm going to just mark out the zipper allowance from the center front. After marking it, I will make a notch on the zipper allowance line. If you don't get how I cut and sew this peplum, if you don't understand, please go ahead and watch the video for a better understanding. Next, I'm going to go ahead and start joining all my pieces together since my peplum is ready. So these are the front pieces. I went ahead to place my pattern on my actual fabric. So I added half an inch sewing allowance all the way around the center front. Also at the side front, I added half an inch all the way around, except at the side where I didn't add any stitching allowance because I already added 1.5 inches stitching allowance on my pattern paper. So I add half an inch all the way around the front piece, and for the yoke that I'm using, it's 2.5 inches in a fold. I folded my fabric into 2. Then I'm going to add half an inch to the down part, and at the arm area I added half an inch sewing allowance. Then I extended it with about 12 inches. Just make sure it's long enough to tie around your neck. It depends on how long you want this yoke to be. I've also went ahead to cut out all my lining pieces, as you can see. For the yoke, I'm going to be cutting out 2 of it, and it's 2.5 inches in a fold. Then I extended it with about 12 inches. It depends on how long you want it to be, like I said earlier. For the back piece as well, I didn't bother adding sewing allowance at the zipper and at the side. So I only added half an inch to the upper part and the down part. Then I've also went ahead to cut out my lining pieces, and that's all for this. Now I'm going to go ahead and start joining all my pieces together, and I will be keeping the lining piece aside. So I'll be starting with the front. Guys, I've gone ahead to iron my wording to the front pieces, as you can see. Now I'll place them right side facing each other. Place the center front and one of the side together, then you pin it down. I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll pin it down, then I'll head over to the sewing machine and stitch it all the way down with about half an inch on the both sides. I'll do the same thing on the band piece. I'll pick one of them and fold it into 2. Then I'm going to head over to the sewing machine and stitch it all the way down. But you're not going to stitch down the bottom part because we'll be turning it to the right side before attaching it to the dress. This is what I had after I was done. Now I'll make notches around the cuff area of this bustier on the both sides. And then I'll go ahead and iron it out. Once you're done doing that, now it's time to attach the back pieces. So I'll place them right side facing each other, and then I will head over to the sewing machine and stitch it down with the 1.5 inches sewing allowance. I will go ahead and repeat the same process on all the lining pieces. And this is what I had after I was done. I've gone ahead to iron this out very well. So I'll be joining the lining together with the actual fabric. But before that, I'll be placing the straps. So I'll go ahead and bring my band. I'll pick one of it and place the band on the join part of the bustier. Then you pin it down. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to use the lining to cover it up like this. Then I'll head over to the sewing machine and stitch all the way around and at the sides. This is what I had after I was done attaching the lining to the actual fabric. Now I'm going to make notches all the way around. Then I will turn it to the right side and iron it out. So guys, this is it. This is what I have. Now I'm going to tie the band around my neck. So you're just going to tie it like this. Now it's time to attach my extended peplum to the waist area. So I'll make a notch at the center front. Then I will be starting with the front. I will place the center of my peplum exactly on the center of my fabric. Place the center together, then I will pin it down. Whatever you have on the extended peplum at the waist should be the exact same thing you should have on the half length. Let me explain that again. Whatever you have on the extended peplum at the waist area should be the same thing you have on the half length. So I'll pin this down at the side as well. So make sure your measurements aligns each other. Then for the back as well, I'll place the center back together and pin it down. Now I'll do the same thing on the side. I'll pin it down. After I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead and repeat the same process on the other back. And now I'll head over to the sewing machine and stitch with about half an inch all the way down. I'll also attach my zip to the back, and that's all for this. So guys, this is the final look of the blouse on my body. It looks so nice, and this is what you should have. You can see the extended peplum on the both sides. And I noticed this tutorial was getting too long. So in my next tutorial video, I will be showing you how to cut and sew this mini pencil skirt I'm wearing with it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.